Hi, so my name is William Huang, and this is my speech on globalization in American society. The workplace in America has been greatly impacted through globalization, affecting workers, income, wealth inequality, and the families of these employees/workers. There is a variety of reasons for why the nature of work has changed in America and how this looks in the 21st century. Globalization and the change of nature in the workforce also impacts families. To start off, the nature of the workforce has changed drastically in America through a variety of reasons. One of the biggest factors in this change is the advancement of technology. Technology has allowed major business corporations to follow the trend of economic supply and demand, where businesses are able to be flexible in order to fit the needs of people in society. With this, technology also plays a role in replacing human labor, which causes the loss of over 85,444 jobs in America on a daily basis. Due to economic competition in America, it is now harder for workers to receive paid leave, paid vacations, and paid sick days. This is the point where the workplace becomes inhumane, swerving their focus away from the employee's health and benefits, but rather focusing towards the success of the corporation and how they stand in the American economy. Technology is a central factor in the globalization process, functioning as the mechanism that coordinates the flexible global production process, replaces human labor, and creates new forms of technology, human collaboration. And this is stated by Heitrick in 2008. Human collaboration is a term used to describe how companies and technological machines are able to either replace humans in the workplace or accommodate their needs. Work today for an American has its benefits such as the different insurances provided, such as health, life, medical, car insurance, etc., depending on where the employee is working at. However, due to the extremely high competition in the US economy, there are also a lot of risks that comes with it. Risks include overtime hours, as the United States don't have a governmental regulation on the number of hours one is allowed to work, the strict workplace, the failure of bans/restrictions on night hours, etc. In the workplace in America, women actually have more leisure and flexibility compared to those of men, but even so can be difficult for women to sustain sometimes. Income inequality has also become a prime issue for the highly competitive American workplace. According to Heitrick and Zentroff in 2008, an individual with a college education in 1979 started his or her work life making 25% more than a typical high school graduate. In 2000, the difference was almost 70%. This shows how inhumane the workforce and economy has become in America. Those that don't have a choice or don't have an opportunity to pursue an education after high school, such as college or graduate school, basically sets up that person in a deficit in their future lives. The changing nature of the workplace has impacted families on a more negative scale. During the earlier centuries of America, women were seen as housewives, where they would stay at home raising their children and doing household chores, where the male does all the work. However, in the 21st century, this idea has become something in the past. Women and men are both working equally in the economy, where family time has changed greatly. Strict US regulations and policies make it harder for workers to spend time with their families even when they are sick or trying to go on vacation. Compared to other countries, America is more uptight and stricter about their policies and regulations when it comes to working for a major corporation. Other countries are able to balance a healthy work style, promoting family time and a healthy balance between the worker's personal life and work life. This leaves an unequal/uneven deficit in the economy and society of American jobs. According to Earl, Mokelmain, and Heyman in 2011, other countries such as Australia, Austria, Canada, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Japan, Sweden, Switzerland, etc., have a more flexible work regulation policies in terms of parental leave policies in a highly competitive economic society. Out of all these countries, the United States seems to have the most strict restriction and least flexibility on these paid leave policies. Other countries are able to provide their workers with a decreased percentage wage while on paid leave, or have a limited amount of duration in terms of weeks, and they are also able to replace their wage rate. whereas the United States doesn't offer any of these policies to their workers. From the articles and points made, we can see how the American workforce negatively affects a family's status and relationship since the workers are trying to sustain their competition in the American economy. And personally, I don't see this as fair because in America, this is where the American dream takes place and how people should be able to come over from all over different countries and see how they should be able to leisurely and freely do whatever they please, such as whether it be work, finance issues, or anything along those lines. I believe that workers in America should be able to have less regulation and restriction on what they are able to do and they're not able to do. However, in the US, as we can see, these policies and regulations make it really hard for employees, specifically in the US, to balance their family time and their free time with in the workforce. So, like I said before, um, compared to other countries, the US does have a more strict regulation and policy in terms of work and employees in the workforce. And globalization affects this actually in a negative stance where, with the replacement of human labor and accommodation, machines and other technological advancements are actually able to replace these humans from the workplace, which in turn negatively affects society, the economy, and ultimately the workers and their families. Since if they are fired from their job, then this leaves a huge deficit in the family's financial status, and this ultimately ends up being a negative cause for the family. Thank you for listening to my presentation, as that was on globalization in the American society in the 21st century.